We are delighted that you're joining us for another podcast of Wake Up Aligned, and it is the podcast for chiropractors where we get to talk about chiropractic lifestyle, and topics of interest. You can contact us through our email, and that is mailbag@amcfamily.com. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Wake Up Aligned, and I'm your host, Dr. Shannon McMurtry, here with not Tom Owen today, but with Dr. Todd Osborne, the great and powerful Oz. Oz, you graciously joined us, and I just wanted to give all of our listeners a chance to meet you. Not everybody knows who you are. The AMC membership who's listening, of course, they know you from boot camps and our training resources and such, but we've also got people who are listening who don't know who you are. So this is Dr. Todd Osborne, and I just want to start off with where you're from, a little bit about your background, how you came to AMC, and let's start there.
Wow, that could be a long story.
Well, we've got 12
Shannon,
minutes.
But 12 minutes, okay. Well, I can cover that probably in that time. So my background was, to take it all the way back, I decided I was going to be a chiropractor at age 14. I had a severe disc problem in my lower back and sciatica, couldn't play baseball, and finally someone told me, you need to go see a chiropractor, and he was the only one that was able to help me, got me back playing baseball. And so at age 14, I decided, hey, I want to be a chiropractor. And so that ended up happening. I went to Palmer College of Chiropractic, graduated there in 1989.
Ooh, you're
sounds like a long time ago now, right? Yeah. And so graduated from there. I did 2 years of associateship with my doctor that had saved me in Carthage, Illinois, bought a practice in Farmer City, Illinois, and went there, started doing everything I could that I knew and what I'd learned to grow that practice from a little of nothing on up. And I had done that over 7 years' time. Fast forward that, I ended up joining AMC at the end of 1998. So I'd spent 7 years trying to grind out and grow this practice, and it had grown, but you know, how fast had it grown and how much had it grown is what it comes down to. So I had taken that practice from around maybe 25, 30 patient visits a week up to 150 patient visits a week. And then I joined AMC, and within 4 months, I was doing over 300 patient visits a week. And
I think your coach at the time, somebody that I know and love dearly, actually commented that this is all well and good. This is a quote from you. This is all well and good, but I am not going to work this hard for the rest of my career. Is that a true quote?
That is a true quote.
Wow.
Judy Berry, my coach, and Dr. Owen, that was one of the principles. We were never supposed to wave the white flag or call uncle, right? But I did because at the time, married, 4 children. I was, on my church board. I was on the country club board. I was coaching soccer and little league and you name it. I was very involved. And so for me, it wasn't necessarily calling uncle on that. It was just keeping some balance in my life and being able to, do those things.
Sure.
And I'm unfortunately or fortunately, however you look at it, I'm not Gonstead. I'm not Dr. Roy Sweat. I'm not going to live at the office 12 hours a day. But it was a nice option to have to get it to that level. And, everybody's got problems, but that was a good problem to have, that you're too busy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so from there, I was with AMC 18 months, 2 years, and was very interested in getting involved and started doing some coaching and teaching, and eventually have become AMC Senior Vice President. And that's where I've been for the last 20 years. I sold that practice in Illinois back in 2004 and went full-time with AMC. And then my daughter, Dr. Christy, graduated in 2012. And so we opened a practice in Chattanooga, Tennessee in 2013. And now that practice. We have 4 doctors and other multiple services going on there, and it's going fantastically well.
That's awesome. What position did you play when you were in high school baseball?
I was a catcher.
Catcher.
Absolutely. The most important position on the team, as you might expect.
Oh, is that what they tell all the catchers nowadays?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Very good. You've mentioned your family a little bit. You've mentioned Dr. Christie. Tell everybody about your family.
So my beautiful wife, Marcy, we got married while I was going to Palmer College of Chiropractic. We met there, and so that is 34 years.
Congratulations.
This year. And we have 4 awesome kids, 3 girls and one boy. And our oldest daughter, Casey, has 4 grandbabies for us. So she says she is having them. Well, I guess the other kids actually say she had all the grandkids, so they don't have to have any, since she had one for her and one for the rest of them. And we have several granddogs and grandcats. So I'm very blessed man, without a doubt, and my quiver is full. So
absolutely, yeah. You got to count the fur babies when you're doing the grandkids.
Oh yeah, these days you do. That's for sure.
You are a AO practitioner, is that correct?
Yeah. We do Atlas orthogonal as our primary technique, and then we do activator type instrument adjusting in the lower spine and extremities.
So you're not even really a real chiropractor then, right?
No, exactly. Okay. Exactly. No snap, crackle, pop in our office. So may not be real to some of them out there.
For you listeners, Dr. Oz and I have been good friends for, over 2 decades now. So this isn't new to me. I know who he is, but I certainly wanted to give you guys a chance to meet him. Tell the listeners a little bit about your interests and your hobbies outside of work. I know you and Marcy love to travel. You like to go out to wine country and spend some time at the beach. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, yeah, we recently acquired a condo down on 30A down in Florida, which has always been our favorite place, or Marcy's happy place, as we describe it. And so we were blessed with that. And so we spend as many weeks a year down there as we can. And then, wine is one of my hobbies. And I don't know how many years I took that up, but like everything else in my life, I have to study it and know everything I can about it, and with my personality. And so I kind of have become I don't know if I'm knowledgeable enough to be a wine snob, but I'm close on that. But I enjoy that. Enjoy going and doing the winery tours and wine tasting and so forth. And was a huge hobby of mine back in the day was golf, and then I was out of it for about 8-9 years, and now I'm back into golf and enjoying playing some golf again.
What would be more unbelievable to the people that you grew up with? The fact that you became a successful doctor, or you are almost a snob?
Probably a wine snob would be more unbelievable to them. Yes, because where I grew up, if there was wine, it was Mad Dog 2020, and that was the only experience you had of wine as a kid. So yeah, that one's probably out there for them.
I love it. Rumor is that you are somewhat of a prankster, a practical joker, or at least you have been in your past. Is that something you'd like to share with everybody? Your practical joke proclivities?
I really have no idea what you're talking about with that. But, I've left presents for people in hotel rooms and things like that. But I don't know what you're getting at.
I must have a bad information sheet here on you. I'm sorry. This is obviously confused with someone else. Tom and I have been talking about on these podcasts things that are coming down the road and what we've been working on. And we've mentioned several times about the Apex program. Would you mind just introducing the folks who are working with you on that, Dr. Jared, Dr. Henry, and just talk about who they are, the caliber, what you're expecting them to bring to the table for the folks who don't know those folks.
Sure. Well, both Dr. Whalen, Dr. Henry have been longtime AMC clients and super successful in practice. They're both incredibly Christian principled men and great families, super chiropractic philosophy on that. But they've also been very successful in other businesses. And so they're pretty much successful. That type of person, they're successful in everything they do,
all their endeavors,
and all their endeavors. And so what they are going to bring to the table is just, more than just here's how to be successful in practice. And they want to help all the members, the Apex Club members, be reaching their potential or striving to reach their potential even beyond practice. Because, we have a lot of clients that come in, they get very successful in practice, and then they're like, well, now what? Okay, I'm making the money, but now what do I do with it? Or I want to expand in other areas. And so both of these gentlemen, Dr. Henry actually did retire from active practice in 2018. I believe he was in his mid-40s at the time. And then Dr. Wayland probably could have retired from active practice in his 30s before he was 40, but has elected not to do that. And so that's just the caliber that we're bringing to the table. And they have a huge heart. It's one thing to be that person. It's another thing to be the people that want to share it and help others to realize those dreams that they might have. And so we're super excited to have both of them contributing and coming on board to kind of be the head, if you will, of the Apex program.
How did you find them, or maybe what was their reaction when you reached out to them and shared this idea? Were they excited about it? Were they looking forward to it? What?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I didn't reach out to Dr. Kelly Henry. He actually reached out to Tom and I.
Funny how that works.
I believe it was last fall sometime. I get a Facebook message from him, and hadn't had, since he'd retired from active practice, hadn't really had any contact with him. And he sends me a Facebook message that says, "Hey, I was in my prayer time. This may mean nothing, and don't no pressure, anything of that nature. But we've been praying about it, and I just got a message that said you need to get with AMC.
Wow.
And maybe there's a spot for me or that." And I said, "Well, I don't really know what that would be right at the moment, but absolutely, we would love to have Dr. Kelly Henry be a part of AMC." Sure. So I said, just hang on to your hat, because there's always something that when Nate brings these things up, then the next thing you know, boom, there it is. So I said, just hang tight and I'll get back with you. As far as Dr. Whalen, he's had a long history of wanting to contribute, to share in AMC, but because of his time constraints and what was available, there really wasn't anything that was fitting. And lo and behold, this came by, and let him in on that, and he was super excited to be on it. And I was telling him about the program and how we were going to do it, and he goes, "Listen, my goal is, I don't care what the fees are, what's charged for it. My goal is to give them 10 times more value than what they're paying." So that's just the type of purpose that's coming into this, and that people can look forward to with that.
Yeah, these guys, who you've gotten on this, they're not just successful from a business standpoint. They're successful, like, as you said, in all their endeavors. That's their families, their
right.
Christian walk, right? If they put their heart into something, if they put their chips into the table, they're all in.
Yeah,
right. And
absolutely.
And their heart is on that service.
Absolutely.
First. And I hear that Dr. Kelly Henry's pretty excited about maybe even engaging or reaching out to some folks that we don't see so often anymore, some former members.
Yeah, some of our former family members that we would love to have back around AMC and be part of the family. He since he was a family member for, I think it was around 15 years, and he'd still be a family member if he hadn't, gotten out of practice.
Right.
So that's definitely on his heart to reach out and just see where they're at. And so a lot of the new programs that we've got at AMC, there's so much new going on here, and even more new things coming throughout this year, that we think we have a fit for everybody now. And for whatever reason that they, got out of AMC, a lot of them, it was just time constraints or family or couldn't travel or whatever it was. We've redesigned programs that we feel there's a fit for everybody. And so we would love for them to talk to Dr. Henry and see about coming back and checking it out and seeing what we have for them.
Yeah, a lot more customization available to people now, more than ever before.
It's almost like an a la carte menu that so they can really customize the needs of their practice. Similar to what we would do with a patient when they come in and you have various services. Well, what services do those patients need? And so that's what we've designed this by is what they need at that point. So maybe they've been a member for 18 years and they don't have the needs of the doc that's coming in brand new, so they can customize this. Or maybe the doc doesn't even need coaching anymore, but they would love to have the staff coached and get into the CA program, so they can do that. And so there's multiple levels, and I mean, they can obviously have as many of those services that are needed in the program, but it's customized so everybody can have something.
And I understand that your hope is to have some special content, maybe even special gatherings for some of this group, some in the Apex group.
Yeah. So as it stands right now, we're planning on having a quarterly webinar for the Apex Club members with that level of speakers, guest speakers coming in for the webinars. They will have a quarterly call with either Dr. Wayland or Dr. Henry, a one-time personal quarterly call to go over whether it's things in their clinic. Probably not. Probably it's going to be more so of other things in their life that they're wanting to delve into. But these gentlemen are going to help with that. We're looking at having a couple boot camps a year where we have either a half day or a full day of Apex content for them. And then we are looking at, hopefully by next summer, starting the Apex Gathering, unless we come up with a different name for that. But right now I'm going with Apex Gathering, where we'll go to I'll just say a resort style family place. Yeah. And yes, we will have speakers, we will have, informational get-togethers, but it's going to be a lot more about not only the content there, but getting together with that level of person. Like-minded people hanging out for the weekend. Your family's maybe going to the beach or skiing or whatever, golfing, but just getting around those people and all of us helping, the others to climb on up the ladder.
To me, it sounds a lot like, for those of you who go back as long as Oz and I do, sounds like that Go-Getter group that was very, very successful. But it sounds like you've taken the best of that, and then you've added other elements to it to maybe even supercharge it. Yeah,
so it is. Obviously the ideas for this, a lot of it comes from the Go-Getter Club from years back, and and you and I go back far enough to remember the inner circle meetings and calls and things of that nature. So yes, that's what those were designed to do. But I know I'm talking to a chiropractic audience, but the Apex Club is going to be the inner circle and Go-Getter Club on steroids.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're looking at making it the thing that everybody wants to strive to be a part of. There are going to be qualification levels to get in, testing to get in, to make sure that that this is going to be something that is good for you. It's kind of like, swimming lessons. You don't take somebody when they're just learning to swim and throw them in the deep end and say, go for it, and expect them to be real successful. They might save themselves, but we want it to be a program where everybody benefits. And like Dr. Wayland had indicated, for them to get 10 times the value of whatever they spend on this. And it's a group, masterminding, things of that nature that'll come about in this that we're looking forward to.
Well, you mentioned qualifications, testing. It's obviously, this isn't a program that you expect to have everybody in, right? This is going to be a very small scale, limited scale type of an endeavor. But without a lot of specifics if you want, how would somebody who's listening know that they are a candidate to test in and qualify and such and put their hat into that ring?
Okay. Well, if there's anybody formerly with AMC listening and you were in the Go-Getter Club before, you're going to be grandfathered in.
Okay.
If you showed the qualifications then, and so you would be able to come back in and immediately qualify for that. And any current members, obviously, that were old Go-Getter Club members, probably the only way you and I will get in. We wouldn't pass a test now, but no. If they've been in before, but it'll be certain levels of practice that they need to achieve. There'll be testing, kind of like the old Go-Getter test. We'll revive that to make sure that they know at least the base principles and everything behind it, because again, these principles are going to take them to another level, but if they don't have the baseline principles to do that, and it'll also be, coach or director nominated and things of that. And I'm sure there'll be some special circumstances that maybe don't qualify on just one of the other things, but we'll look at that as directors and probably see about getting some of those people in if they're in some type of extenuating circumstance.
Hey, that sounds good. Well, we're just about out of time. Is there anything else to add on your side before I close it up?
No, I think it's great that you and Tom are doing these podcasts and getting information out there. We're in that season of history right now. Podcasts are the thing, right?
It is.
And so I think this is better than writing a book or something of that nature. So I think it's awesome that you're getting that information out there. And I look forward to anybody that's listening that I haven't met. Love to have you come to an AMC meeting and check us out, and love to meet you face to face. And any former members that happen to be listening, man, love to have you back.
Yeah, appreciate that very much. So everybody that I interview, I ask them all the same question. Who do you like better, me or Tom? And be honest.
Who do I like better, you or Tom?
Yeah.
That's the only two choices I get?
That's the only two choices you have. Yes, sir. We got to limit it somehow.
Well, let's see. I don't know how to quantify that exactly, because you guys are both such lovely, lovely individuals. And so I would say probably right now, you guys, you're right there neck and neck, but Tom's going to buy me dinner tonight, so I'm going to go with him.
Good choice. Good choice. Well, listeners, that's why Dr. Oz is Oz, the great and powerful. See, he did not fall into that trap, and I'm 0 for 2 so far on setting that trap for people. Oz, you guys have put in a lot of work and effort on this program. Just want you to know how much I appreciate that, and how much that's going to be a wonderful thing for our membership. And you and I are both, all about the service and pouring into those people. So just cannot tell you how much my appreciation and gratitude for all the work that you've done and all the things that you're going to accomplish with this. So you've been a good friend for many, many years. I'm looking forward to continuing that relationship. And even though I may bust you down in front of other people, a lot of love and appreciation in my heart for you and your family. So now I've got that out in the podcast, so it's there
you go.
Permanently for all posterity.
Well, that all comes back your way too, and I appreciate all you do, brother.
Thanks for joining us. And folks, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time and attention for another episode of Wake Up Aligned. Join us next week where we'll have a new topic. And one more thing before we go. If you're a chiropractor who's searching for a better way to build a more sustainable, low-stress practice, then you can contact us at amcfamily.com. You can schedule a discovery session, or you can access any of our free content, webinars, podcasts, and the like.